Hi, I'm Joseph O'Connor, and this is another short video in the series of Coaching the Brain, practical applications of neuroscience to coaching. So we were talking about the interpreter in the last video, that part of the brain that kind of smooths over the difficulties that we encounter, that puts us in the best light, that keeps our story consistent, and is very much focused on us and our particular skills and talents. And then we're also starting to explore those particular tricks and traps that the brain plays in just gathering information in order to get good beliefs and mental models. And these two go together because our interpreter focuses very much on us, and we see our results as being part of what we do, our personality, our skills. So we tend to attribute that to others as well. So when other people get certain results, we tend to think about it as something internal, something about them, something about their personality. And we tend to ignore and downplay all other sorts of factors about the situation, the timing, and particularly other people that were involved. And this has a name in logic. It's called the fundamental attribution error. In other words, we attribute results to the person and not to the situation. And generally the situation has a lot more of important elements with regard to success. So there's a kind of, when we see people who fail, we tend to say, oh, well, they did a poor job. And we ignore the fact that it could have been badly timed or other people let them down. If other people succeed, we say, oh, good job, they are good, they're talented. And again, ignore the other situations. There's a joke where people say, well, I'm creative, you're unpredictable, and he's chaotic, describing the same behaviour. But that's still fundamental attribution error, because we're still attributing it to the person. And there's two things that I think we ignore, very important things. One is the contributions of other people who may seem to be invisible, but without them, that particular person who gets the result wouldn't have got it. And secondly, just showing up, just being there, showing up, coming in, doing it over and over again. Persistence, consistency, very important part of success. Now there's another, we'll just do one more of these little tricks, important ones called the availability bias. And this is where we pay attention to the information that is available to us, and we don't try and search out other things. And of course the information that's available is usually about spectacular results, very often success. So we pay attention to what we know, and success is reported. You don't usually report failures. Therefore we tend to base our models of how to succeed on a very small number of examples, and they're not representative at all of what happens. This success may be all sorts of other factors. We need to look at the failures as well. We need to look at those who don't succeed. Now we can call these failures, but actually they still did something and they did not get the result that they wanted. There is, in California, there is a graveyard here, real place. A graveyard for failed startups. And they have like gravestones with the names of various startups that didn't make it. So you get the startups that did, and we all know those. They become very famous, and we study those as studies of success. And we don't study the graveyard, we don't study the failures. We can learn as much from failures as we can from successes. So we can get very misleading models with regard to success and leadership from this availability bias and fundamental attribution error. And it's absolutely something with clients that they need to be aware of this. And sometimes I'll ask clients to go and look at people who did not succeed to find out what they did. So, in the next video we'll just round up I'm not going to go through all of those tricks and traps. They'll be done in the distance learning course, but we're going to just round up this series of videos in the next one.